Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Dude Check This Out, the podcast where we bring you the best in golf, hilarious stories, viral reels, and all the random stuff that makes life worth it. Of course, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are on the race to 100 subscribers.
Ooh, I like that. I like it. You got to gamify.
That's right. We're hoping to get there. So join us. Let's jump in. What you got going on this week?
They say the first. Did you just dead name me? That was my given name. I'll have you know.
Oh, okay. Heard.
So I don't appreciate that, but yeah, they say the first 100 is the hardest. The first cut is the deepest. I wish I knew more to that song so I could keep going.
I feel like you do know the words to that song. You just don't want to sing it on here.
I truly don't. And if I did, I would do that for you and for the audience because we are on a race to 100. So
do you know? I know a song you do know by heart.
What song do I know by heart?
WAP.
I know the first verse. Yeah.
Don't act like you don't know the whole song.
I don't. Okay, I don't know once Megan Thee Stallion comes in. I don't know her part.
Okay.
Bring a bucket and a mop. But I know quite a bit. There's a soft piano version that slaps. It's by Zayn. Yeah, it's so good. It's like it's just the tonal differences. Just the music and the words really do it for me.
Really gets you right.
It really does. You like the stash look? Is it coming through?
I do like it. Yeah, it looks really nice.
Okay, I appreciate that because I was, and I'm still kind of in that awkward phase where I'm like, okay, I've got to let it grow out so I can like properly do something with it. But for a couple days, it just looks bad.
So what you want to do more with it? Like, what's the game plan from here? Because it already looks good.
I don't think there's a game plan. It's just like I have to get enough so I can style like just like put it off to the side a little bit so it doesn't look scraggly. Like it looks cohesive. Because my hair's like starting to get thicker, like very slowly. Like my facial hair is getting thicker over the years, but it's still like could use some more thickness. So what I have to do is just style it and put it together a little bit. So yeah, well, it's like good. when a man goes bald, and they're holding on to it.
Now, what about the fucking part where it starts going over your lip? When you talk about that worst part ever about a mustache.
I will say that has not been fun. Like when I'll be like drinking water or something, and then I'll like just be 20 minutes later, and I'm like, why is my face wet all of a sudden?
Yeah,
it's like, oh, because I got Tom Selleck up here. So
I just hate the feeling when it like it's especially like in the corners of your mouth.
Oh yeah. It feels like somebody is like doing something to you. It feels like somebody's messing with you.
Yeah,
like when I first started growing the facial hair, like it was just super itchy. I would just notice it all the time, and now I like don't even give it a second thought. It's so strange.
Well, I definitely think you need to like try to twirl it at least once.
Do the Frenchie.
Yeah,
I think I have the body type for that. There's a certain kind of guy that does that.
Yeah, you have to have like a big enough ass. I mean,
yeah,
mustache.
Yeah, it's got to be juicy. You got to have haunches to support that.
Big dongus.
The weight, yeah. But no, was on a trip since our last recording. Went to Seattle with my sister, and she was at a psychology conference there. And so I had essentially 2 days to myself to just bull around and do whatever I wanted in the great state of Seattle.
What was your peak and what was your pit?
Peak and pit. That's an interesting. I like that.
That on Kardashians.
You did you? That's pretty slick. I'd say the peak. I like walking around and seeing like sights and nature. Like those are some of my favorite parts of trips. Is just like, just seeing new places, being outdoors, seeing the cityscape, seeing the landscape. Like this was a pretty quick one, so I didn't get to go like outside of the city and really explore and go around that way because that's like probably my favorite stuff to do. But parts of that city are very beautiful. Parts of that city are. I was asking one of the guys there at one of the breweries I ended up at, and he's like, yeah, do not go on 3rd Avenue because that's where the homeless problem is the worst. And like, I've been around like homeless, quite a bit, but this was a different level. I wouldn't say any of them made me uncomfortable. Like nobody was like outwardly sketchy, but it definitely gives a vibe when there's just a lot of it.
So you went there?
Went where?
You went to the street.
Oh yeah. We had to walk through it a couple times because like some of the places we were going, like you have to walk across the avenue. But that was interesting. I'd say that was probably the pit was just experiencing that, and feeling very grateful for my life and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
things that are afforded to me. But no, the one of the tour guides we had, we do Tiffany and I do like walking tours, most places we go, and you get like a mixture of it because it's like free walking tours, and then you tip at the end or
Mm.
pay whatever you want at the end. This guide was really good. He was probably one of my favorites that I've ever had. Just like super engaging, like just natural charisma. Like he was rizzing the whole crew up, and just had like really good timing. Like he was a comedian essentially, and he was very good. So that was a pretty cool part. But
That's awesome. What,
yeah,
for that, like, avenue, I know you said, like, nothing necessarily happened, but did anyone, like, ask you any questions? Did anyone talk to you?
no, nobody. The only people that talked to me were ones that were just like begging, but not
Mm.
like outwardly homeless. No, I mean, we walked through at night once or twice, like just because like we were coming back from something, but it's not something I would want to do on a regular basis of like walking at nighttime through there. It's just, I'm just, and I'm a dude, so that's also different. Like I'm a
Right.
dude, so it feels a little different, but I would not want to walk through there as a woman
Mm.
on my own at night.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be on the list.
That's not it.
And we stayed at a hostel before. Have you ever stayed at a hostel?
What's a hostel? Like, what I've heard of it before, but, like, what's the premise?
Think of like dorm room kind of style where it's much more communal than a hotel. Like you're like in our room there were 3 bunk beds, and like there's privacy shades and stuff, but like you're around other people. Like
Oh,
you're sleeping in the same room with other people. Like Tiffany and I had our own bunk. Again, there's privacy stuff and you have some amount of privacy to it, but there's other people in the room. I'd say the hardest part of that is like if you wake up before everybody like we did, because we're coming from central time, so we're 2 hours ahead.
yeah.
um, it was just like you have to be kind of quiet in the room, and like so that part was like whatever. And then there's shared bathrooms, but they actually had a ton of bathrooms at the place, so it wasn't a big deal. But it's way 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 cheaper than a hotel, depending on which one you can find. And this one was nice. Like it was pretty well ran.
I was gonna ask,
But just
like,
a different traveling experience.
yeah, I was gonna ask, like, was that, something you decided on purpose, or was it more of, like, a cost efficiency type thing?
It was both. Like
Okay.
she's stayed at tons. Like she travels all the time, and so I think we had stayed at one. It wasn't quite that communal. Like we were definitely around more people at this one, but it was fine. It's kind of interesting having to be much more. What's the right word? Like you have to be much more efficient with your
Mm.
space and like how you store and how you just like interact with your environment. Like you have to be more
Yeah.
efficient, which is kind of a fun switch up. Like I wouldn't want to do that long term, but it was interesting to have to like compact yourself a little bit. Um, and everybody was around our age, which is the other part of it too. Like hostels are
Mm.
normally for like younger travelers, younger people, and so it was interesting being around like a ton of people our age, which I didn't think would be
Interesting.
strange, but it kind of was.
Huh.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, I've never been in a hostel before. I never honestly even thought about it, but, like, yeah, if it's a lot cheaper, and especially if you're only gonna be there a couple days, like, why would you not?
Yeah, it was pretty decent. I mean, again, for this kind of trip, not a problem. For another trip, I probably wouldn't do that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was interesting. I will say it started out nice. I got a good airport buzz going before taking off. Like
Yeah,
I flew
yeah.
from St. Louis, and so it was like one of the first trips where I've lived in St. Louis now, and so I can just like drive there. It's like an easy 25 minutes. Then I can get to the airport at actually a good time. And yeah, like it was. I hadn't eaten. I think it was dinner at that point, and so I had a couple airport brews, and it was like the most tipsy I've ever been getting onto an airplane, and I was like, "This is fantastic. I'm just gonna like disassociate and just like hang out," which
That's
is
why
exactly
people
what
take,
happened.
like, fat edibles before they go on the plane and shit, like, peak
I
right
could
before you
never.
get on.
Oh my god, I could not do that. Have you ever flown with edible? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's honestly, like, one of the best things. I can, like, obviously, I'm not a big drinker, as you know, so, like, I could only equate that as good of a
Yeah.
feeling as you probably had, like, when you're buzzed and you're in the sky, like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. It's like you're looking out the window like, "Whoa."
Like, "Holy shit, look at those clouds."
Those clouds, man, that's
Can't see
crazy.
the fucking ground from here.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then,
No,
yeah, on the way back, it was kind of the same story. Like Tiffany and I flew out of the same airport. Mine was like an hour and a half later, so just hung around. I was pretty like done socially at that point, so I was just like, I'm
mm,
just gonna kind of do the same thing. And it was great. And then on the flight, I was like, you know what? I never have like ordered drinks on a flight. I'm like, I'm gonna get like a Jack and Coke. Why
Yeah.
not? And
Yeah.
the lady hands me two, and I'm like, I didn't ask for two, but I guess it's going down.
Drinks.
So yeah, on the flight back, I was also just like,
So you were
just
fucked
chilling.
up the whole flight.
No, I will say it wasn't that bad. Like it was a very comfortable like ride. Like knowing myself, I was like, yeah, we're in a good spot here.
That's good. That's good. That's like the
But not
perfect.
not not blitzed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was great.
That's good.
So
I'm
that was
glad you had a
fun.
good trip, man. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was fun. And I will say if you ever are in Seattle, do you like cider? Like alcoholic cider, just like normal cider?
Not I like normal cider, but not alcoholic cider.
Yeah. They got some good stuff there. Like
Mm.
for the second day, because the first day I was there on my own, I like walked around a ton. I had like 25,000 steps on accident. And so the next day I was like,
Dang.
I don't want to do anything. And so I
Yeah.
went to like a bunch of local coffee shops, and then a couple of like breweries and a cidery. And they know what they're doing. There's some good stuff in there.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Do they like all the breweries and stuff you went to? Are they kind of like Logboat where they kind of have like a formal bar and then seating around and everything, or what was it like?
Yeah, a lot of them do, and then there's some that are like local places that carry like a bunch of the local stuff.
Mm,
So that's really what I was going for, was just like, oh, I just want to try a bunch of different things. But yeah, a lot of them have like their own seatings and things. But
that's
yeah,
dope.
it's pretty chill. And
Yeah, it
then I
sounds
was
like a
just
good
like
trip.
monitoring some work drama going down. I won't divulge too much, but I was also just sitting in there. I was like, oh, what's going on here? Just trying to,
Wow.
you know.
Very
But oh, I
eventful.
will say one big highlight. We went to. Have you heard of Shakespeare in the Park?
Yes.
It's for those listening. It's like an amateur uh, like troops doing Shakespeare plays, and so that we ended up going to one that was closer to I think it was Washington University,
Mm,
whatever that college is. Um, and we watched Caesar, and midway through, this lady comes from like behind the stage, and at first I was like, okay, she's definitely gonna walk around, right? No, she doesn't walk around. She walks right through the middle, like during the play, and I'm like, oh, is she part of this? No, she's not part of this. And she starts yelling, you asshole women of Seattle, you let me get in this park, like maybe bleep that part out, like you let me get assaulted in this park. Like, I know each and every one of you are guilty and responsible for that. And she was, I don't know if she was tripping or something, but it was like uncomfortable, intense.
oh
And
my
like
god.
one of the production people came up and was like trying to like guide her away. And she's like, don't you touch me. I was like, okay, do I need to like get up here in a second? Like there's a crowd of like 100 people. So, we'll be fine. But also I was like, holy, is it about to go down right now?
Dude,
And
what the fuck?
it was wild. It was wild.
She had to be on drugs.
I think so. I think she was, but also, yeah, she probably was. She probably was.
Like,
And
that's awful trauma, but, like, why who do any of these people have to do with what that happened, like, why this?
yeah, she was shadow boxing for sure. she was she was fighting some demons. But yeah, and then she
Man.
just kind of like walked off, and everybody's like, okay, so what happened to Caesar? What happened to him, by the way? And just kind of kept going. The show
That's
must go
funny.
on.
Was it at least good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I couldn't quite remember everything that happened. It was like a shortened version of Caesar, but yeah, no, it was good. Like they had cuts
Yeah. Well,
doing
that's
that just on
cool.
the fly. Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Like, I feel like everywhere you go, you have some crazy ass story, like some crazy thing that just fucking happens to you.
Yeah, dude. People just some people have like a lot of social anxiety. Some people need more and
Yeah.
need more like social shame because they just have none. And I kind of want to be that person one day.
That you have none?
I just have none. I could just go. I'd just be like, "Hey, what's up?" Just talk shit
God.
to people to their face.
So when you're butt ass naked running down the street, like cooked up
Yeah,
on meth, call me.
yeah. I'll let you know.
I bet.
But yeah, those are the big high points. Those are the big high points of the trip. Oh, and I do have one other thing, and I'll stop yapping.
No, you're good.
Guess who texted me when I was over there? You'll
Guy or
never
girl?
guess. Guy, a man, actually, mind you.
Hmm. Was it someone from Best Buy?
No. But you know him dearly.
I know him dearly. My brother?
No, close. It was Mr. Doug.
Oh, my
Doug
dad.
texted me. Yeah, he texted me. He texted me Friday at 5:00, and he's like, "Christian, is this still you? Wanted to make sure you're okay. Heard your name in the news and hoping it's not you. And I was like, what? Excuse me? It's like, hey, Doug, it's me. I'm totally fine. What's the news? He replied, got hit by a car crossing the road and died. I was like, oh my God.
Bro, Doug's on some shit, bro. That's funny.
I was like, was it my name exactly? And he said, glad it wasn't you. I said, I'm in Seattle right now. He said, uh, yes, yes, but 24. I think you're older. I was like, yep, I'm 27. Appreciate you checking. I'm okay though. And then a couple of hours later, he replied, it was Tristan. You are safe.
Yeah, no shit. Thanks, Doug.
I was like, this is so cool.
Bro, sometimes I think he might be on the spectrum.
Mr. Dougie C.
He'll just like send the
Yeah.
wildest shit and be like, "What's this?" I'm like, "This is the first time ever hearing about anything. What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Just
Could you imagine that he's just sitting on the couch, be like in local news, area man Christian Crawford gets hit by a car. He's like, whoa. Like, huh?
honestly, that's probably exactly how it happened. He's probably sitting in the same spot on the fucking couch watching his YouTube TV, and he saw Tristan Crawford pull up on the news, and he's like, "Oh my god!" Took a picture of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Oh, Dougie B.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh my.
Which is funny because there was a story when I was in like second grade. I was gone, or I was sick for a day. It was like a Tuesday. I was sick for a Tuesday. And I came back to school and people were giving me like weird looks and I couldn't quite figure it out at first. And one of my teachers was like, did you hear what happened? I was like, no. She's uh like somebody thought you were dead. I'm like, what? Like, no, not at all. And one of my teachers texted my dad because they knew each other separately and texting asking about me, making sure I'm okay. And he's like, what are you talking about? So yeah, I've been dead a couple times. I am, you know what? I'm Jesus. I have died twice and I came back a third time. All right.
Honestly, it makes sense. It's in the name.
Yeah, my name is Christ. Behold.
Christ. That's crazy, man. I swear to God,
Yeah,
you just
dude.
attract bullshit.
It's pretty cool. That's super chill.
Oh my God. Oh, man.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
can
but
I
anyways,
show you a
what's going
video?
on with you? Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Super
cool.
chill. Super chill.
Not a ton has been going on. It's kind of funny as you were talking about that alley with all like the poverty, the poverty alley, whatever the fuck they call it.
Yeah, yeah.
Me
Pop
and
Ave.
Maddie I think it was last Sunday or the Sunday before. We were going to like our breakfast spot, Goldie's Bagels, and we're walking down the street, and there are these two guys just sitting next to like a parking meter, and I look closely, and this dude is fucking ripping meth out of this glass pipe.
Sick.
It's like 7:00, 8:00 in the morning or something like that. And we're like, oh yeah, this is where we want to be,
That's cool. Where's that place?
just
Like,
downtown.
what's that town?
It's downtown. I think it's 9th Street. Goldie's
Okay,
Bagels.
yeah.
So
Goldie's
good.
Bagels. Just a
So
dude
good.
just ripping it.
Yep. Anyways,
Dude, we saw so many drug deals just like going down and like cops across the street. There's like obvious drug deals happening. We're like, all right. It's just like it's so desensitized over there. It's kind of nutty.
was it? Could you tell what it was?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It wasn't even like they weren't being like covert about it at all. We're just walking through Chinatown district, just like going to get some noodles. We're like, oh, check that shit out.
That's so funny. That's so good.
Anyways, I would love to see this video.
Okay, yeah, we got to see this video. Hold on. Okay. So, I would like to start this segment called "Is This the Real Spider-Man?"
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's watch it.
Oh shit! Oh my god! You alright, bro? I'm good. You sure?
I mean, yeah, I think that's Spider-Man. He's so committed to that pose.
That's the real him. Let's watch it again.
Hey, dude. It's like the mid-air ragdolling. Like it starts off with so much control, and then just quickly devolves.
Oh my god. Okay, I got more.
I think that one was on Tosh.0 like years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah. That's a classic. That's a certified hood classic. Oh, good god.
Good. All right. Here's another one.
All right.
Before we play it, What do you think's gonna happen here?
I think he's gonna fall off a cliff. I think this biker's gonna fall off a cliff.
With what?
Oh no. Oh no. What do you do? Oh!
Fucking shadow as he's falling.
Oh man.
So that's cool.
That was making me cringe so hard because like there's nothing you can do. You're just hitting jagged, sharp ass rocks.
Agreed.
Oh
Agreed.
god.
Okay, this is the last one I want to show.
Okay.
And I have to ask.
Yeah.
Growing up, where was like if you had well, let me back up a little bit. Did you go through a phase of like pissing outside?
Yeah, actually, I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like every guy kind of goes through that. There's
like,
spots.
walls can't contain me.
Yeah, like I kind of just sometimes feel like pissing by a tree.
Yeah.
Do
Connecting
you
with
have
nature.
one spot that you remember like that's where I pissed and that's a good piss spot?
You know, the yard we grew up in, it was out in the country, a lot of trees, a lot of space. There was one that was like next to the pile at the edge of the yard, and there was a tree that you could go behind. It was a little bit in the woods, so it was a little bit scary, but it was a great tranquil spot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think this may beat it or may be good. I just strictly remember at our baseball field growing up in high school, there was like this one section where you would go through these trees and it would immediately open up into like this, big old circle that was like 5 or 6 feet wide. So nothing crazy, but you're perfectly in the center of this thing. Best spot we would go to piss. I mean, you would just like see guys walking in and out of that one spot because everyone pissed there because you didn't have to go to the bathroom. No one could see you. Perfect. This reminded me of that.
That sounds like an Indian burial spot that you guys found, and now you just desecrated it.
Yeah. Well, maybe. That might haunt me in the next 5 years, but check this shit out.
Guys, I found the most insane pissing tree when I was at practice earlier. Absolutely crazy piss spot. I'm about to show it real quick. Never in my years have I seen a pissing spot this great.
Oh my
tree
God.
Completely in the center. No one can get to you. It's almost like a domain expansion, but for pissing. It's crazy. I've never seen some shit like this in my life. And
That's
my ass had to
magical.
flick up. Absolutely.
Flick up. All right. That's now in the vocabulary.
Yeah.
I had to flick up. That's great. I bet kids quite a bit.
What do you say?
I bet kids play there quite a bit.
Probably.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Probably. But that is an A1 piss spot. Just saying.
That is an A1 piss spot. That was made by God.
It was.
Wait, what's up with this?
Huh?
What? We have to show that, but I'm curious what the guy is right there. Yeah,
this
the
one?
Guinness World Record. Yeah.
Oh, this one's actually pretty good. Hold on.
Okay. That is mad impressive. That is actually super impressive.
How many do you think you could get through?
Oh, and what was this? 30 seconds?
Sure.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Oh man, I think I would struggle to hit like 20, to be honest.
This was
like
this was
just raw dogging it.
169.
Holy crap, 169! Oh my god,
That didn't look like it was that many, but like
it didn't look like it was that many.
Your elbow would be fucked.
Oh yeah, like how do you practice for this, and then you have to go through like a recovery period, I guess, for each one, or you just like build up calluses on it, I guess.
Yeah, your elbow is just this fucking big fat thing.
Oh yeah, this is more competitive than. Do you see the breakdancing videos from the Olympics? Like all the Olympic memes going on.
I don't know if
weeks?
Oh wait, yeah, I did that one. It was like the person in the green jumpsuit or something.
Yeah, the Australian one, and they're just like flopping around. Yeah, apparently they got zeros on it. I didn't watch any of it, but I was just like following the memes going through.
God,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or did you see the Turkish guy in the shooting competition just had like no gear? He just like walked up. He's like,
literally the definition of swag, bro. He was in his element.
All the memes were like, we need you to come out of retirement. He's like, who's the target? He's like, not who, where. It's the 2024 Paris Olympics. Just good. It was a great week on Twitter. It was a great week on Twitter.
Truly,
Couple of weeks on Twitter.
truly. There was seemed like there was quite a bit of good stuff going on at the Olympics. I didn't watch too much of it. Did you catch up at all on it?
I really didn't. The only time I really watched it was the U.S. Olympic basketball game against Serbia because I was in one of those breweries for that time, and just like this old dude just started like chatting me up on the bar, which I kind of forget because it's not something I do often. Like if you just sit at a bar by yourself and you're not like obviously in your own space doing your own thing, people will just start talking to you like that. It's
Yeah.
just a social space, and I kind of forgot
Yeah.
about that. And I was like, well, I guess I'm locked in now. And so I had to put on my face and like do the things. But no, that basketball game, we were down like 16 or something crazy. And ended up coming back and winning.
See, I didn't watch it. I wanted to so bad.
Yeah, it was a great game. But yeah, it turns out that guy was super into watches and golf, and so I was like, okay, you're my new best friend now. So what's up?
Did you suck his dick?
No, not right away.
That's after stuff.
I had to play a little hard to get.
Oh my god,
I'm not
that's
like
so
that
good.
anymore.
Oh man, did you guys get hit with all that fucking rain?
Yeah, it's been kind of a blumpkin over here the last couple days. Like I've been trying to go out and play, and it's just not been happening because it's been all wet and soggy and gooey.
Our the water ended up like on the side yard like was completely like water was up above the grass.
What?
And it came up to I don't know if it just like doesn't drain very well on this side, but
Oh.
it came up to like right at the end of our patio from that little river behind there, and we were starting to get a little scared some water was gonna come in the house, but luckily it didn't.
Oh man.
It was
Like
bad.
the side yard like between the unit with the car dude
Yep.
and you guys, like that was
Yep.
flooded?
Yeah, like
Oh,
the whole
shit.
area was pretty much underwater.
Damn.
Yeah, it
I
was
didn't think that was
scary.
possible.
I didn't think it was either. Like it
Yeah.
it felt like it didn't rain. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. It rained a fuck ton. But I feel like that should have like washed away. It made me worried about that pool that they have.
Yeah, because didn't you say that they were like flooding the yard with the pool too? Am I making that up?
We were worried they were gonna flood the yard
Oh,
with the
that's
pool.
right. That's right, because it was like leaning or something.
Yeah, dude, it's like it's almost falling over.
That's hilarious.
They literally bought it for their kids, had some people put it up. They used it for 1 day. It has not been touched since. Bro, the saddest thing happened the other day. I was walking out to my car. I think it was actually during the weekend. And the little boy was outside and he's like, "Hi, dude." And I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, he asked me something about my car. And I was like, "I see you guys got a pool. That's pretty cool." And he's like, "Yeah, but we don't use it." I was like, "Why?"
Oh.
He's like, "It's dirty." I was like,
Oh,
"Bro, your
bud.
parents just don't clean that shit."
Yeah.
So sad.
That's the thing about pools. Like they take so much maintenance, even like the pop-up ones. It's like you have to pH that shit. You gotta like put chlorine and all this stuff in it, like chemicals. You gotta treat it. Like even just those pop-up ones are just a headache and a
Mhm.
lot of work. So I don't know. I don't see myself ever unless I'm just like stupidly like I hit the lottery or something and just like can pay somebody to just maintain it. It doesn't feel like a priority in my life.
Yeah. No, I definitely
But
get that. But like they haven't even touched it. I mean, they're not even
yeah.
trying. It's not like they're out there scooping it. They just let it go.
Yeah. But
Really
I know
good.
like some family has a saltwater pool and like those ones are apparently easier to maintain.
Hmm.
But still it's just like the lining, like the filter, the pumps and stuff. Like something always seems to go out every single year. So it's like, it's a money pit.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
feels
not
like
worth it.
but
It just kind of made me feel that like you hear, and I might have said this already, you kind of hear about those stories of like if a family is not doing super great, like there's trauma in the family, like sometimes parents will just like splurge and like be sporadic with buying things to like temporarily create happiness.
Oh.
And then they just, it fizzles out like a dog and it gets mistreated or stuff like that. This is kind of what it seems like. They bought this pool for the kids. They were so excited. And then now they're sad because they can't use it because their parents don't clean it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's pretty terrible.
It's terrible. It made me feel so sad. He was so like that little kid was so sad. He's like, "Yeah, well, it's dirty. You can't get in it." And I'm like, "Bro, fucking just tell your dad to go clean it. Like it's not difficult."
I mean, the man can't park in his driveway. I don't know how he can.
Yeah, and like they're screaming at each other every night. Like we hear them argue every night. It's
That
just
is so
it's a
sad.
fucking war zone in that house, dog.
If I don't laugh about it, I'm gonna cry about it. That's so
Yeah,
sad.
yes. You just gotta
That's so
fucking
sad.
take that one on the chin, dog.
Yeah. Apparently, when I was gone, Trini was over and like feeding Mika while I was gone and checking on her. And she texted me. She's like, "Do your neighbors normally yell?" I'm like, "Literally never. If anything, I'm the loud neighbor if I'm playing like Call of Duty or something."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, they were like, it was full on DV action." And I was
Oh
like,
my
"Oh,
god.
I've never heard any of that before. Maybe I just like have things on. I don't know."
You would hear that shit. Don't
Yeah,
even.
she's like, it was like I was talking to Mika. I was like, "I'm so sorry you live in the ghetto."
You
Like,
don't
don't
even
put
live
those
in the ghetto.
don't put those ideas in my daughter's head. All right.
You don't even live in the fucking ghetto. What are you talking about?
No, I don't. I don't. But dude, that cat, she's been an asshole today. I think the
Wow.
problem is like I finally I've been having this like struggle for weeks now of like wanting to be the person or like the version of myself that gets up early in the morning, and like does the gym then
Yeah.
instead of waiting in the afternoon. And so like this morning, I finally was like, okay, I woke up a minute before my alarm. This is a sign. I'm just gonna get up and do it. And so like I fed her early. And so I think she was just like, "Hey, why are we up so long? Like we should be in bed right now. Like what are we doing?" Like she's just being in my like face all day.
You know what you need?
What's that? An
Another
edible?
cat.
Oh, yeah.
Get her a little kitten.
Yeah.
She'll become a mom, and she would be over the moon.
Yeah. I feel like I've been getting more signs lately that I should be getting a second cat. Yeah. Like there was as part of our Seattle trip, Tiffany and I went and talked to their photographer for the wedding, like because
Yeah.
they're based in Seattle. And so we visited their loft and stuff, and they had a little baby kitty. His name was
Oh.
Stella. So I hung out with Stella. Stella was so cute. Little
Ooh.
baby kitty. How's your cat going, by the way?
Dude, she's so cute. She
Yeah.
let's see if I can find a picture. It's interesting. She's been, she was like 5 months old when we got her. And so she still kind of goes back and forth with these signs of like still a little bit timid when you like reach down at her to try to pet her or try to go get her. And she kind of like, moves around a little bit, but she definitely is around a lot more. She's super cuddly. Like it's kind of, I can't get it. There she is.
Oh my God.
She's so fucking cute, dude. Like, look at this little girl.
She's tiny.
She's so small.
You said she's full grown?
No. She probably isn't quite done growing yet, but dude, she's just so fucking cute. Everything about her is adorable. And the best part is she's actually brought out personalities from both of our cats, which is nice. Like
Oh, that's
Oreo
good.
kind of went through this phase of being an asshole because obviously Opie wouldn't play with her because he thinks she's annoying.
Yeah.
And so this cat plays with Oreo a lot. So now they're playing a lot.
Uh-huh.
And then Opie kind of reclused himself for a little bit because he fucking hates Oreo and she's an idiot.
Yeah.
And now he's playing with this cat too. So like it's
Oh.
definitely they're more excited now. They're around more. They're not just in their own areas, So it's been a big positive. So
Damn.
yeah.
Well, maybe I'll use, I'll go undercover FBI and just not tell my landlords about it. Hopefully they don't break into my house and see two cats.
I think we have one cat, so
Oh, that's a good point. Officer, my one cat needs 2 litter boxes and 3 food bowls. That's, if you actually look it up, that's actually, if you think about it and you read the scientific literature on the subject, it's actually good for the cat. They
yeah,
have multiple boxes.
exactly. They like options like we do.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. Do you shit in one toilet your whole life?
I didn't think so.
Didn't think so. Dude, speaking of shits, how's the dump game been?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up because I think this is the 3rd weekend in a row where I pooped on Sunday.
Damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's like being manifested by just like talking about it? It's like dreams. If you talk about having dreams, you're more likely to have one.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's definitely that, and it's the aspect of like because I talk about it, I think about how I don't on the weekends, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I should probably sit on the toilet longer than normal just to let things happen, and it works.
Let nature take its course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Is it still being like diet induced, or is it like just, you know?
No, we've been eating pretty good overall. Definitely seen, if we do like kind of stray off a day or two, it doesn't help, and it definitely makes it a
Yeah.
lot harder to shit on the weekends.
Yeah.
Harder than it already is.
Yeah.
But like normally the poop on Monday is fucking great. Like I came in
Yeah.
Monday and took the shit of my life.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
one
that's
you kind of look
cool.
down and gasp a little, You're like, oh.
How did that get there?
What about you? How are your bowel movements?
They've been solid. There was a weird hiccup where there was just a lot of it wasn't as tight as it normally was. It was
Right.
just like, I think it was from the travel of just like new places, new faces.
The
Because
beers
like
on the fucking plane and
the beers on
shit.
the plane, it was not helping. Oh, I know what I was trying to think of. I was trying to think of a joke. The immaculate shit. What was it? Like, you know what it's called whenever Jesus got put into Mary's womb, the immaculate conception.
Not putting her what?
Well, that's how, because Joseph didn't get in there. The father, it was the baby Jesus was put in because Mary was a virgin.
You are not the father.
Yeah. Can you imagine that episode of Maury?
That'd be crazy.
Joseph's like, I took this wench how far across Israel? No room at the inn, and I'm not the father.
You are not the father.
God, but so that was called the Immaculate Conception.
Okay.
And then what's it called when you're constipated? The Immaculate Constipation. There it is. Shit. Yeah, so that's like what it is over the weekend whenever you don't poop. You're a poop
Truly.
virgin.
Truly.
But no, they were they were a little shifty for a little bit there. I think we're back on a good schedule.
Good.
I will say during vacations, like there are times where if it's a shorter like weekend trip, sometimes I maybe won't poop on a normal schedule. But if it's a long enough one, you gotta go. And I find they tend to be like scared poops. They're not like
Mhm.
comfort poops. They're like
Yeah.
small, more compact. Maybe more frequent. Maybe you just do a little load here, a little load
Wrap
there.
this shit up. Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't want the bear coming through the woods and being like, "There's that one pile of poop." It's like, "Oh, there's a lot of little pile of poop." So I don't know what
Yeah.
this person is. Yeah, so
Right.
it's a survival instinct. So we're coming through that. We're back in our spot.
Well, that's good. Would you say throughout the week you've been more dialed and more consistent?
Oh yeah. I think the morning, because it's that like second coffee poop in between coffee 1 and coffee 2. Like that's the butter zone for me. So like we've been back in the zone. To let me into my zone.
I forgot you called it the fucking butter zone.
Yeah, dude. That's been one of my theories I've had since I was in like, I don't know, 6th grade, of like there's a zone you hit where it's compact enough to where it's not running, but it's slippery enough to where it's not like stuck in there. You're not
Got
constipated.
doom wiping. Yeah.
It's a butter zone. Yeah, it's a butter zone. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have a little bit of a cleanup when you're eating stuff with butter on it, but like it's gonna go down smoother.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so I'll hold on to that.
Well, good for you. I'm glad that you've finally gotten that figured out too, and I feel like we're both on a good schedule now.
Yeah, we back to normal.
Yeah, we're back on our poop segment.
Hell yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else crazy going on. Anything else I saw? What about you?
Honestly, I don't think so. I feel like this last week kind of hasn't been super eventful. Didn't do too much. Didn't golf last weekend or anything like that. So
yeah, I was gonna say, where are we golfing this weekend?
Ooh, it would have to be Sunday.
Sunday? Okay, I think I can make that happen.
Okay, I'll let you know. We'll figure something out.
We'll talk about. Oh, I did see this Instagram post about there's a new game on Steam called Raw Dog Flight Simulator. And it's got eye tracking in it, and you just stare at the back of a plane seat for the whole duration of the flight.
Oh my god. Dude, that's funny as fuck.
Part of me thought about doing it for the lulz on this last trip, and I was like, nah, I gotta have like a podcast or something going in. That's just barbaric.
Do you think that the people that post that they did that, do you think they actually did it, or they just took it after?
My inclination is that almost everything's a lie, but I bet some of them did it.
See, I could see on like a shorter flight, like a 2 or 3 hour flight, but like some of these people are doing like 8 to 14-hour flights and they're raw dogging that shit.
Yeah.
No.
That is wild. Although I will say, have you ever tried meditation before?
No.
Do you kind of know the concept of it?
Yeah.
Though? I will say I like getting more into it as part of
Mhm.
my working with the dude, and it is wild. Like I feel like you could zone out for a long period of time and just like zen out, and it wouldn't like it would be boring after a bit if you came out of it, but I think that's the only way I could like feasibly ever get that done.
Interesting. So how did you start like meditating? Did you start looking at like watch videos of it? Did he teach you how to do that? Like what did you do?
Yeah, there's like 5-minute meditations are a good place to start, but really all it is there's nothing mystical about it. It's not like woo woo or energy or like spiritual or anything like that. It's just like noticing that there is no you, because throughout your day it often feels like you're kind of a passenger or like you're a subject that things are happening to, instead of you just being a consciousness that like has experiences, and like your sight, your sound, like your vision, your voice are like inputs coming into the consciousness. And so it's a way to just like stop thinking about yourself and like stop letting your thoughts dictate every single part of your experience and just like experiencing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but I would definitely recommend you can do like 10-minute ones or like 5-minute ones, and it's just like I think it's called like mindfulness meditations. Just to try those and start out. It's really tough because at first it's like, okay, focus on your breath. Because whenever you do that, you're just like grounding yourself and like getting a sense of, okay, this is just like a thing that I'm feeling,
Yeah.
and it's getting out of your own head. And it's like, it's not so much shutting down your thoughts, but just noticing when thoughts pop up and realizing you don't have to engage with them. And that like dialogue that's constantly going in your head, that's not you. That's just like a result of your brain.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like I could really benefit from that.
It is super helpful. It's very hard at first. Like it definitely try it. Absolutely try it. But I will say like even on the 10-minute ones, I'll be sitting there, I'll be like, okay, focusing on my breath. And then let's just like thoughts come up. I'm like, oh, I wonder about this thing that I have to do at work tomorrow. And it just like I'm out of it for 30 seconds. Then you try to pull back. It's like, okay, to start focusing on your breath. And it's like it's hard to because normally our thoughts are just running all the time constantly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to step away from them. But whenever you do get a moment of like, oh my God, this is cool, where it's just like not there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. It
whirl.
seems like that guy knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, it's a pretty common form of like mindfulness and cognitive behavioral therapy, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very common practice of like just not realizing you don't have to engage with every thought, and you don't have to like you are not your thoughts. Like you don't have to engage with them. So yeah,
I like that. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe that's a peaceful place to leave this one.
Yeah, I think we should.
I think we should.
should.
Go take your shits.
Yeah, go take your shits. Think about your breath.
Yeah. Feel the sensation of your colon really of poop.
Lean down and watch it escape your butt.
Yeah.
And we're gonna fucking wrap that shit there. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
Tails.